Welcome to the President's Diary, a weekly program where we highlight the work of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfaan Ali. President Ali and Prime Minister Honorable Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips on Monday visited and inspected the third shipment of food supplies and other necessities for volcano-affected St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The vessel, Lady Fazila, was at the time being loaded with some 275 tons of supplies at the Munishwar's Wharf, Water Street, Georgetown. President Ali says Guyana is committed to supporting the country as it goes through the rebuilding process, not only of the physical infrastructure, but the lives of the people.
Guyana understands our responsibility to CARICOM. We understand our role in CARICOM, and I want to assure Prime Minister Motley and Prime Minister Gonzalez that not only we are with them in this immediate term, but we are with them throughout the process of rebuilding not only the physical infrastructure, but rebuilding the lives that would have been affected.
The President commended the efforts of the private sector and other citizens who have contributed significantly to mobilizing relief for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
In CARICOM itself, there should be great recognition for the tremendous work of Guyana's private sector in mobilizing resources, not the first time, not the second time. This tells a story that built in institutionally in our local private sector is a strong commitment to their social responsibility. And I think for that as a nation, for that as a government, we ought to be very, very proud.
Also on Monday, His Excellency highlighted the vital regulatory role of the Public Utilities Commission in ensuring that neither state control of public utilities nor unchecked market power of utilities harm the rights of consumers. The head of state was at the time administering the oath of office to the fourth commissioner of the PUC, Dr. Nanda Kishore Gopal, at the office of the President.
And I do swear, so help me God.
Dr. Gopal's record of public service has been stellar. He has served with distinction as a trade unionist, permanent secretary, minister of the government, and a member of the Public Procurement Commission. He brings to the PUC a wealth of experience.
The President highlighted a number of ways by which the PUC can examine its effectiveness.
We can determine how effective we are in the exercise of our duties by examining the quality of service consumers receive today, by examining the work we have done over the last few years to protect the interests of consumers and ensure such quality that is expected to be given to the consumers are given.
President Ali says the public's interest is paramount. Therefore, when executing its functions, the PUC is obligated to act justly.
The government of Guyana is as committed to supporting the work of the PUC as it is to expanding and improving the quality of public services provided to citizens. The work of the PUC is expected to intensify as Guyana enters the new phase of its development.
On Tuesday, President Ali received a courtesy call from members of the Novik Cardiac Alliance, NCA, at his office on Shiv Chandra Paul Drive. Co-founder of NCA Dr. William Novik and care consultant Sean Smith were joined by Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation pediatric surgeon Dr. Marissa C. Prasad and head of medical services and cardiology Dr. Mahendra Karpin. The group discussed several issues with the President, including capacity building at the GPHC. Novik Cardiac Alliance specializes in sustainable healthcare solutions for children with cardiac disease. Over the years, Dr. Novik has worked with local teams in 46 cities in 32 countries to build and sustain pediatric heart surgery services in the developing world. During his 3 decades of service, he and his team have provided 7,411 children with operations and medical care. NCA is hoping to start a similar program in Guyana. According to Dr. Karpin, quote, Heart disease in children is indeed a major issue, end quote, in our country. The president on Thursday said the ratification of the Escazú Agreement is a significant milestone in the region. In a virtual address to mark the activation of the agreement, Dr. Ali highlighted its importance to overall development and sustainability. The agreement will reinforce democracy, transparency, accountability, and effectiveness in dealing with an environment affected by climate change. It was adopted in 2018 and entered into effect on Thursday after a structural ratification process by 24 nations in January.
It supports access to justice in environmental matters and commits to working to ensure the right of every person to live in a healthy environment. The Escazú Agreement is aligned to our constitutional obligations. Our Constitution proclaims that everyone has the right to an environment that is not harmful to his or her well-being.
President Ali added that Guyana was the first state party to ratify the Escazú Agreement.
Guyana, as a signatory to the agreement, hereby endorses the right of access to environmental information. It welcomes public participation in the environmental decision-making process. It supports access to justice in environmental matters and commits to working to ensure the right of every person to live in a healthy environment.
The Latin America and the Caribbean's Environmental Treaty seeks to ensure that people have access to timely and reliable information and can participate in an effective way in the decisions that affect their lives and their environments. Also, on the occasion of the 15th death anniversary of former Minister of Agriculture Sachideo Saw, President Ali, in a statement on Thursday, said Guyana recalls with affection and appreciation his sterling record of political and public service. The president reflected on Mr. Saw's effusive and energetic presence, which was matched by his dedicated work ethic and hands-on approach to the work of his ministry. President Ali said Mr. Saw was a people's person who served his country unselfishly. Dr. Ali added that he will be remembered for his sterling efforts in the struggle for democratic freedoms. While he lived in Canada, President Ali noted that Mr. Saw was a tireless political live wire, organizing and agitating for the restoration of democracy in Guyana. When democracy was restored on October 5, 1992, Mr. Saw was asked to serve as Guyana's ambassador to Venezuela. In that post, he rendered distinguished service. Dr. Ali noted that Mr. Saw's efforts were so impressive that he was invited home to assume ministerial responsibilities. Sachideo Saw helped to transform the agriculture sector during his tenure. His untimely and tragic death 15 years ago, Dr. Ali said, robbed Guyana of a committed patriot whose service to the country and to the cause of freedom and democracy is worthy of emulation. President Ali on Friday said his government's long-term objective is to make Guyana the economic powerhouse of the region while creating prosperity for its citizens. He told the Private Sector Commission in a virtual message during its annual general meeting that to accomplish this, all systems must be in place and Guyanese must work together.
Indeed, the prospect of us achieving this objective is contingent on our ability to develop a cadre of vibrant professionals, developing a strong industrial and manufacturing sector, strengthening our traditional sectors of growth, whilst transforming those sectors from mere production base to value added.
President Ali says the private sector has a big role to play in advancing the national agenda and driving structural changes. He added that his administration supports positive development and intends to put in the effort to make this goal a reality.
It is also very important that we create an environment in which our local private sector can develop their competitiveness and can be the primary beneficiaries of the economic transformation that will take place.
The head of state reiterated his call for diversification and noted that the country would not fall prey to over-reliance on oil wealth. This has been the President's Diary, where we took a look at His Excellency Dr. President Irfaan Ali's week of activities. Thanks for watching. Join us again next week.